back at it again. And, yeah, this is gonna be a kind of different video. Because, quite literally yesterday, well, yours truly, I just outright had one of the most, like, disturbing dreams, and I figured I might as well talk about it, make a video, because who knows who's gonna see this. Hopefully, never mind. But yeah, it's just been wild. You know, where do I even begin? Because dreams are just some of the weirdest things. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about any stupid green dude who cheats in speedruns. That's a different topic. At this rate, I'd fucking side with anyone who opposes that kind of dream. Cause, yeah, no. He fell off the moment he took off his mask, and his face was shaped like the troll face in, like, Walter White Jr. But that's beside the point. I'm here to talk about actual dreams, just deadass going to sleep and then your brain goes haywire. Because that's what mine did yesterday. So where to begin? School... So school is just very tiring. I'd say that people unanimously agree. It's just stressful as hell. Half the days my head hurts coming home. It's a ruckus. It's a catastrophe. Utter misery, if you will. And so, every other day, I can't help it. I just go home and I take a nap. Because, like any good person, I get, like, what, 5-ish hours? Like, at this point, I just say my sleep schedule's tilted back a few hours. Because, you know, I stay up till around midnight, and then I wake up on 5 hours of sleep, chug through the whole day, pray I get to say hi to people, and then I come home and take a nap. And what that nap causes me to do is I get my sleep there. Oh yeah. Minecraft has been doing this stupid fucking thing ever since a snapshot where I keep bugging through the walls and just being randomly pulled. If anyone knows if this is being reported or not, do let me know, because I've just seen no comments ever. And being left in the dark is... I just don't like that. So if anyone knows why the hell I keep bugging through the walls, I've been doing this on every world I'm in, and I'm hardly getting drawn to Minecraft anymore due to it. Then tell me, to the Minecraft experts who watch this channel. So where was I? Yeah, so I nap, and what that does is it takes some of my hours of sleep and just nudges them forward. So when it comes when I should be asleep, I'm not tired enough because I slept way earlier in, like, the afternoon. If that makes sense. Like, my schedule's offset. And I'm just tired as fuck half days. And other days, I can't get myself to sleep. So I take a nap, like, within the hour that I get home. And where do I begin? So I go to sleep, and then I wake up to my mom getting home and shouting. But I hardly move. In fact, I just roll over and I go back to sleep. 'Cause I guess I'm just that tired. You know, it's ridiculous. Even right now talking, it's catching up to me, but I won't let that stop me from getting this out within the day or so. So she gets home early because it's Monday. I go back to sleep, have some weird dreams. I'll get into the contents of the dreams later because I typed it out somewhere. Cough, cough. But, so I have these dreams. I hear her shout a second time and I wake up. I see my cat on the bed beside me and think nothing else besides to roll over again and go back to sleep. And due to the way my dreams were, and the fact that it was my mom shouting to wake me up repeatedly, I guess my mind had just come to the conclusion that something was off, that something wasn't right. Because, you know, subconsciously, the universe, you know, it could have been like, hey, she's dying, you might need to check on her, in, like, the form of a dream, because I've heard that kind of stuff happens with, like, gut feelings. So I think it's one of those. So I decide to call her. I call her, and it's the neighbor. Now, I didn't realize this until after the fact, but my ass is half awake after the most bizarre dreams in, like, rapid fire sequence. And then I hear a voice I don't recognize, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? And immediately my brain goes to whoever is talking through this phone, because it's someone else. They must have taken the phone. And then from there, my mind somehow goes to the conclusion that she's been held hostage. And so I'm like, who the fuck are you? Why are you holding her hostage? And then I quite literally text her, who's holding you hostage? I'm gonna call fucking 911. Because I am half awake, in a blind panic. I don't know what the fuck's happening. But it was all explained because I was asleep and it was just all unbeknownst to me. So basically, my sister and her friend, and, you know, them, were getting home through the neighborhood, and they went through a stop sign first elsewhere in the neighborhood. And so, these asshole kids decided to just tail her and follow her all the way back to my house, where my mom and the neighbor were... This is why I don't fucking like Minecraft right now. This happens every time it autosaves too. Please tell me in the comments. I need some validation, or just some reasoning behind why it does this. Okay. So my mom and the neighbor are just chilling out in the driveway in the truck, just like probably having a conversation because they're friends. And so my sister and the group of asshole kids who were in a Jeep Cherokee, you know. So basically, all of them are there in front of the house, and the shouting I heard, which I thought was a wake-up call, was actually from out front. It was all like, what the hell? And that's why I guess I heard that. But I was in the middle of the weirdest fucking dream sequence. I couldn't possibly comprehend what any of this was. And so I almost called the cops and made everything 10 times worse. And I was fucking scared, you know. I called her again, my mom, and just trash-talked the other line. My sister didn't know what the hell was going through my mind, and so she tried to scold me for it, until I explained what the fuck I didn't know what was going on. She was all like, it's none of your business. So I'm freaking out. She realizes, and it just disturbed me. As for the dreams themselves, somewhat common dream of just the side stairwell rooms in the school I'm in. Because the way the layout is, there's doors on the sides of some hallways that are just side stairs. Because it's a big hallway, main hallway that goes to the whole school, and there's stairs there. But there's also stairs in, like, the smaller hallways. So, you know, side stairwell rooms. I've had various things happen to stairwells in my dreams. Sometimes, you know, they'll be guarded by fairies or some shit. Other times, half the steps are too large and missing, and it kind of looks like this, where it's like jumbled up blocks like Minecraft parkour. Clearly a huge safety hazard. Looks like it can kill someone. But this time around, the room just went to, like, the fucking spare side room in my house where there's a heater and an awkward step down in the floor. Now, it didn't look like that room, but it was shaped like it, and I knew because of, like, the weird single step that goes down in the floor in that area. Some other doors just outright went to my neighborhood. Me in the dream, and I guess it was lucid because I would like to say rational thinking, I didn't go through the doors that led to my neighborhood, because my neighborhood is several miles away from my school, and so instead of a shortcut, it would be more of like a long cut. It would get me away from where I needed to go, and so I didn't go through the neighborhood doors. And there was a third door that just went to, like, a parking garage or a parking lot or some shit at nighttime. You know, you had the orange lights, and looked liminal as hell. Each of these rooms had, like, a random person as the hall monitor, and it's not anyone I can name. They were just random people, like Asian lady, black dude, all in just, like, generic clothing. So, just people. Random-ass people who are acting as, like, hall monitors. Now, they didn't do anything. They kind of just stood there. And so I encountered these when I was in a computer lab. I'm sure alluding to, like, the actual computer rooms I'm in my day-to-day classes. Room full of computers. And the lights are out, and they're giving this lecture on scissors. For some fucking reason. And I was given a red extra big pair. And I didn't like that. In fact, the only light in that whole room was from all the screens that were on. But I didn't like my red scissors, not one bit. They were huge, and it just felt unfair to me in that dream. that I was given such big scissors. So I left. I skipped class in the dream. Outright. And I guess for the sake of the plot, my backpack happens to just already be slightly outside where the door was, because I had to walk back and get it. But it was just right there. So that's when I leave and I encounter the weird side room people with doors that lead to my house. And elsewhere, namely in the cafeteria, was... Now this is another theme I keep seeing in my dreams, and this is very thin staircases, like escalator widths, but they're stairs, and also the steps are huge, but I guess that's just a dream thing. So not only is there a stairway leading down into the cafeteria, no supports from what I see. The steps are extra big, but there's also incredibly lame jokes or like random facts on every single step in like just like black text in a white oval kind of shape on... Sometimes it was every 2 steps or 3 steps. There were 2 next to each other and then they'd be spaced out by 3. It was these weird patterns I tried to make sense of. And I never... Some random grown lady, who I guess was a staff member, was like, haha, don't you get it? To this one joke. And I didn't get shit. It was just... It was fucking weird. It was... So I just walk past them like, okay, whatever. And I go to get, I'm assuming, my lunch. And in the spot where they have drinks is this fucking beverage called Ultra Milk. That, if I'm being honest, the bottle was shaped like fucking Listerine. It looked like mouthwash. But it was called Ultra Milk in like a tiny oval in tiny text in the bottom middle. You had to look really close to catch it. I get it, and it's like a new drink that came out. And it's like a deep blue. Like, if you can imagine what water looks like in this game, then, like that, actually. Like, let me get a cauldron. So, basically like this. This was Ultra Milk. And that shit tasted like the most diluted, bland, sad excuse of a drink. It's like if you took juice and mixed it in water, but like a lot more water than juice. So just very poor in flavor. It was very slight. And then the guy next to me is like, this shit tastes like modern interior design. And I'm thinking in my mind, in the dream, because you know how flat and just boring all the modern house insides look? Because it's all like streamlined. It's like that, so I guess the drink tasted like that. It was ridiculous. So I'm trying to make sense of stairwells and scissors and Ultra Milk. And then all that bullshit happens with the assholes who pull up to my house. And it caused me, like, just a shit ton of distress that day. But since I'm making a video on this, I might as well go on a tangent about the other dreams I've had in my life that I can look back to reasonably. Because they're there. it's just... it gets really stupid. So, firstly was the one dream I had, maybe in the summer or so, where I don't remember much of the context of these. I just remember some of them. But there's others that, like, have been executed in reality. Sort of like how the periodic table was someone's dream, and they were like, holy shit, I need to make this. This is perfect. So, in some part of one of these dreams I had, there was a giant, like, Earth in the sky, rotating. Big planet close-up dream. Except the Earth was like a giant balloon because it was exploding, and all this powder was falling out of it. And this is on my neighborhood street. Freaky as hell. But then everything lights up because down to the smallest blades of grass, everything just became glowing neon, and it had a star on the end, like it was a firework trail or something. Like from a cartoon, you know, it's like the stars. That happens, every blade of grass lights up, because everything's just turned a fucking overwhelming white from all of the light of all of these lit up blades of grass. You can't look out the window because it's like, it puts the sun to shame in terms of blindness. And even still, in that same dream, I visit my house in my neighborhood, except everything is reversed laterally. So the front door of my house is on, like, one end instead of the other, and the street curves the opposite way. Actually, it doesn't. All the houses were backwards, but the streets were fine. And I call this the mirror world, for obvious reasons. Now, the mirror world was in constant, like, sunset, but you know that time during the sunset when the sky is blue before the stars come out? It was that constantly, but the sky was just a deep blue, and there were no trees. It looked like a fucking liminal space. And that place will always kind of stick out to me when I think of dreams. Well, that and another recurring dream I've had, which are what I like to call, after seeing posts on it, bathroom mazes. Now, the thing about bathroom mazes is that they're always public bathrooms, and they have the most confusing layouts. Like, you'll walk in, you know how bathrooms have those tiles all over the walls and stuff? Like, if you look up the pool rooms, it's kind of like that. But they have those tiles, and they lead on for fucking ages, and they branch off in all directions. Rows of urinals and stalls. It gets so far away that it just goes dark after a certain distance. Sort of like, just like fog, almost. Those stretch on. And then another that sticks out to me was one big room. I had to leave to find the bathroom in another dream. And I had to walk through this one huge room full of temporary walls. and it was like a huge bathroom. Like, in the malls or... What the fuck? In the malls or airports or something. Where those things stretch on. So, you know, bathrooms, and then you have to, like, go back a bit, and there's even more space for bathroom stalls. It's a maze. And if those existed in real life, perfect place to hide and skip for the rest of your days and never make it out of school. But, like, they'll never find you. The stalls are... Sometimes they're back-to-back from each other, actually. The layouts get really wild. And on the topic of dream locations was another recent one, which was some street not too far from me. You know, public, lots of cars in real life. But there were no lights at all. The only lights were coming from the sky because of the glow of the stars, because the entire city's lights were out. No street lights, none of the cars had headlights for some reason in the dark. And it's this dark, pitch black area, but the sky is just faintly... It's got that nebulous glow to it, if you look at it long enough. And me and my family were crossing the road in pitch blackness for whatever reason the dream had to offer. And I dropped my phone because, okay, so to explain the structure of the road, basically it, like, pulls off, and there's, like, a slight little ramp. I'm not sure if... I'm gonna build it in this video, just as, like, a demonstration. It's basically like this. So you have the curb and the smooth stone slabs. And it sort of does this, where it ramps up. Because, you know, the ground... Yeah. You get the point. So, we're all crossing the road, pretty much jaywalking, because the traffic's backed up, no lights, and then I drop my phone right around here, near where the road is, but it doesn't actually go. And I go back to get it with the help of the flashlight from my mom's phone. And there's just a pile of leaves here for some reason. Like, all brown. I'm not gonna turn on the leaf litter snapshot to prove a point, but leaf pile, I pick my phone out of it. And the whole dream just goes on about me walking along the side of the road outside my own neighborhood, which appears a lot in my dreams. All in the dead of night, and eventually the lights do come on, leaving me to just walk home at night down the sidewalks, which was kind of ominous. Another element that I see sometimes is my teeth falling out. Sometimes they do it on their own. Other times I, like, poke at them, and then they all slip out. Despite this, I don't remember feeling like I feel no teeth. I'll just look down and see my teeth pouring out in front of me. And I'm sure there's like a meaning to that. I've heard there is. But that chalks me down to some of my more influential dreams. Now, you may have seen this building, I'll get to it. After that same dream of me walking around in pitch black and dropping my phone, as I'm waking up, the fucking dimensions to this building flash in my head, and I'm like, holy shit, I have to build this. And so I did. You know, 3 blocks diagonal, 3 here, 7, some amount of floors, and then iron bars, the lip goes up, or out by like 2 blocks. And then this pyramid with slabs, and then a 7, I believe, 7 block tall pillar off the pyramid. This was the fucking building I dreamt of. And I'm pretty sure the floor was stone too, so it's stone. I'm not sure how viable of a design this is. Or whatever the fuck sign this is. Don't get me started on my rants about signs. Because God knows I'm not proud of any of that shit. It doesn't hit me right. But, so I built this. I woke up, rapidly jotted the instructions down, and it's just mine. This is what came out of that one dream. Deadass, the dream building, I call it, I guess. It's in my city world. I'm sure I've jumped on it a few times in some other videos. And that leaves me to the most influential dream, which is getting my friends back. This already sounds cheesy as hell, and it kind of is, but I just want anyone who knows me to put themselves in my shoes for a hot minute. I've been traumatized, left in the and to have memories of all the elementary schoolers and whatnot. Not all of them. I'll admit I can't remember some, but the people close to me. Because I've hardly made any friends since then. You know, just the disorders and shit on me just haven't helped. And ever since last year, where I've begun to consistently see some of them, my mind had been fucking dreaming away of having a genuine conversation and them actually caring about me. And I am glad to say that that's probably true. That they probably do care, and I don't want to put too much on them. Because God knows I probably look like an insane guy if I go on a rant for too long. Especially to their face. But holy shit. The amount of dreams of just meeting back up and talking, and it's been far too fucking long. Ever since I couldn't get myself to say hi even once last year. The confidence never got to me. I tried. I failed every single day back then. It took, after the break in December, and several more dreams during them, because I managed to give my number to one person, And the way I see it, dreams are sort of your own mind letting you in on the unfinished business that you have to deal with. It took that, and me freaking the fuck out over this being the last semester ever, for me to finally get back into contact with some of these people. It took all of that, and it's probably nothing to them. But to me, you know, how do I explain this in a metaphor? You know how the Hawaiian Islands are actually like a huge volcano that stretches all the way from the ocean floor just to stick up? Compare this to an underwater mountain. I went through so many days and nights of self-doubt and wondering if people gave an actual fuck anymore. To finally be like, hey, here's my number, and now I'm here, and all of that build-up, all of that stuff under the water for the mountain that you never get to see, because, you know, it's just a tiny island on the surface that pokes out. Like Hawaii, as I was saying. All of that build-up is just left behind me. It took so fucking long for me to just go, no. I can't half-ass this. I have to do this. To fucking do it. And I'm here, and I sound like a lunatic, and I'm sure if they watch this, they're gonna cringe the hell out. But I'm dead on. I'm saying more words right now in all of my videos than I probably have in, like, generally a month of school. Not counting the months where I've had my friends back, and things have I have so many things I want to get off of my chest. So many just things burning up inside of me. I'm sure you've heard that already if you've been following. I have so much stuff left to say, and if we can remotely get anywhere, talk in any place with our voices instead of text, maybe it can be during that one break. Maybe it'll all be Discord calls. I don't know. But being in person makes me so fucking happy, if anything. Because, I mean, my dreams have had us all in person. I've talked straight on and just let it, and I just want someone to be there. Because those memories ain't leaving me, because, like, holy fuck. I am the mountain that pokes up out of the sea level just barely to make a dent. I have been secluding myself for ages. It's something I've wanted to happen for well over a year. Just... They're probably not gonna see this, but, like, they're the only real people outside of my family and some teachers, I guess, who actually get me. Because we were all around back then. I wasn't the husk of a human I am now. And we just had fun. 2016. I would kill to go back then. I would kill to talk with any of you. I'm addressing you now, the people I'm talking about. If you ever watch this, which I kind of doubt. I don't even know how many of y'all actually watch this. But I had to go through so fucking much at this rate if it meant that I can actually get to a suitable level of conversation and development. All of my fucking subconscious tools for socialization. I'm not the butterfly I once was. Those have all just dilapidated. I'm like a moth to a flame at this rate, and I guess I am the flame in some capacity. But that leads the... That was probably the most influential dream in my recent days. Dreaming of when they'd actually care, and I am glad to say that I am in that universe. And I'm also in the universe where I built this building. Very bad stairways and bathrooms and other things. Other things being the current things I have yet to say about. Because the way I see it, I still have some unfinished business. I'm just gonna throw in the... what you want me to talk about, if anything. If I vibe with it, I'm open. I just want... I just want people to listen. And this is kind of my platform besides actually talking and text chats and yada yada. So if there's any, like, shit I should cover, that is at least somewhere in my alley, or something I could, you know, actually hold a conversation about, let me in on it. Otherwise, I'll just be here, chilling. Maybe we could get on a Discord call or something one of these days. I'd kill to talk and hear voices and hear my own voice too, and just talk instead of... you get the point. I would unironically just love that. I don't know. I just want to have conversation somewhere. But if you know what I should be talking about, let me know. I need engagement wherever I can get it at this rate, and I'll stick around. I'm still alive, and hell yeah, I'll see ya. So yeah.